How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to On the Ball, and the Premier League is back. And you've got non-stop Premier League action from now until the end of the season. It's Premier League predictions. Sim is on 281. I'm on 300. It is now the business end of the season. Sim, how are you feeling going into this?
I'm tying up.
Period?
It's time to start using my big hitters.
Yeah,
I've held them back. You haven't seen the best of it yet, and now it's time to throw them all out in full force. It's going to be the last 8 game week. Well, how many game weeks? 9 game weeks. It's going to be 9 massive hitters, big hitters.
Time to separate the men from the boys going into the last 9 game weeks of the season. The way the scoring works is 5 points for a completely correct scoreline, 1 point for a correct result, and the star man. Once you pick that man, you cannot pick them again for the rest of the season. 5 points for a goal, 2 points for an assist. Let's get into the weekend's action. Starting off at the Emirates, it's Arsenal against Fulham, Tuesday night football under the lights. Sim's gone for 1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Arsenal will take the Saka back in action after recovering from his injury. Arteta said before the game he doesn't have any fears that he's going to be ready to go and be back to his best straight away, which is big talk from Mikel. I also think, if I remember correctly, Saka was playing when they drew to Fulham at Craven Cottage a few months ago, and it was a very difficult game for them, very tight game. Fulham have a knack in these big games to kind of find a tactical kind of way of playing to make life difficult for the opposition against better sides. I do see them doing it in this game, but I think they're going to be struggling to get beyond this Arsenal defence. And also, Arsenal still obviously no striker. It's going to be without a striker to the end of the season. Even with Saka back, I still don't see them being extremely potent right now. So I do think Arsenal win, but only 1-0.
Yeah, I see this being quite a difficult game for Arsenal. Fulham usually do really make it difficult. Marco Silva seems to come up with all sorts of tactical flexibility when he comes up against Arsenal. It's always a difficult game, and I feel like this one could be like 1-1 going into the last stage of the game, and then Saka comes on and maybe saves them, grabs a goal or an assist in the latter stages of the game. So I can see Fulham really troubling Arsenal for periods of this game, but I think Arsenal, with the return of Saka, just about getting over the line. So I've gone for 2-1 to Arsenal. Sim's gone for 1-0. We move on to Wolves against West Ham. Sim's gone for 2-1 to Wolves. I've gone for 1-1 here. Not entirely convinced about West Ham. I think Cunha, is he back for this game? Or is he
You know what? It looks like he's suspended, which I didn't know, so that's not great for my prediction.
Yeah, I thought, because he got given an extra game, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So I feel like Wolves, even without Cunha, with Strand Larsen up top, they've still got some players that can hurt West Ham. West Ham, on the other hand, I mean, they just flattered to deceive a little bit, and I think their football has slightly got better, but still, results haven't been going their way. So I found it really hard to split these two teams.
Yeah, I've went for 2-1 to Wolves. To be fair, I did think Cunha was playing. I think he would have made the difference, but he's not. But I've made my predictions, so I've got to stick by it. And I think Wolves, the way they play that back three system, the counter-attacking way, is actually pretty perfect to play this West Ham team. I know West Ham have also been playing kind of back three recently, but I still don't think they have that kind of defensive solidity yet that Wolves have. And I think they're going to try and attack. They're going to leave spaces open, and I can see them struggling to contain this Wolves side, who are probably a bit more used to playing this system than West Ham are, and home advantage. And they know as well, a win just puts them even further away from that relegation scrap. So I've gone for a confident Wolves win here, 2-1.
Next up, we go to the City Ground. Nottingham Forest, FA Cup semi-finalist against Manchester United. I've gone for 1-0 to Forest. Sim has gone for 2-1 to Forest.
Yeah, big weekend for Forest in winning in the FA Cup, and I think they're going to take this confidence into this game on Tuesday night. And I think I just can see Man United struggling to break this Forest team down. I can really see them struggling to score goals, and I think Forest, the way they just pick their moments and break forward and are very smart in how they approach games, I think I can see them Man United really struggling to not get caught out. I don't see it being like really dominant, like a battering or anything. I actually see it being a fairly tight game, but I just think Forest will have the quality here, and I think United will be lacking in it. So I've gone for a 2-1 win to Forest. Yeah,
Forest actually rested Elanga and Hudson-Odoi in the FA Cup on the weekend, which could stand them in a little bit of good stead. Fresh players to come in. They did play extra time, to be fair, and came on in the latter stage of the game, but I just can't see this Man United side being able to break down this Forest defence. Murillo and Milenkovic have formed such a great partnership at the back there. They're so tough to beat, particularly at home. So I feel like Forest could be feeling it a little bit from the weekend with Man United had a weekend off, but they still get over the line. I think a 1-0 workman lights display. So 1-0 to Forest. Sim's gone for 2-1. We move on to Bournemouth Ipswich. We've both gone for the same scoreline here in 3-1 to Bournemouth. And Bournemouth obviously going out in the FA Cup to Manchester City on the weekend. They're going to want to right those wrongs, and it's probably one of the best teams they could have hoped for coming up against this weekend. I think they'll be on the back of a bit of a hiding Ipswich. I can see them getting a goal, but with the forward line that Bournemouth have, particularly at home, how strong they are, I can't see anything but a convincing Bournemouth win. Yeah,
the only thing I would say about Bournemouth is I think their last 9 games, the only team they've beaten is Southampton in 90 minutes. Sorry, they've also beat Everton in the Cup, but in the Premier League, hasn't been great, to be honest, for Bournemouth in recent form. So maybe also on the weekend they played quite well for a bit against City, seemed to burn out a bit and seemed to be lacking in energy. So I don't know whether they're kind of puffing out here near the end of the season, Bournemouth, or whether it's just a little blip. But I still think they should have too much to blow Ipswich away early doors. Ipswich, they need the points, they need the wins. They can't go into this game looking for a draw, unfortunately. They have to go for a win, and I do think that's going to sort of suit Bournemouth, and I do think they're just going to have too much quality for them. I reckon it'll be kind of 3-0 in the first hour, and then maybe Ipswich get a late consolation.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Bournemouth against Aston Villa, 2 of the FA Cup quarter-finalists, but obviously Brighton went out. Villa did go through. Sim's gone for 2-2. I've gone for 2-1.
Yeah, I think we know Brighton, very attacking. They like to commit risk and fly players forward. And I think they're definitely in a very good form, Brighton, starting to really play well. And I thought against Forest wasn't their best display. I thought Forest kind of on the weekend parked the bus a bit, and Brighton failed to kind of really break them down. But Villa aren't going to be as tight defensively, so I do see Brighton creating chances. But Villa, I think this kind of game will suit them as well, with the likes of Rashford potentially exploiting the space that's left, Watkins there as well. So I can split them. I think it's going to be 2 kind of different tactical setups who are perfectly able exploiting each other. So I've gone for a 2-2 draw here.
Yeah, I've gone for 2-1 to Brighton. I feel like Villa, whenever they seem to play 2 games a week, they can't really handle it. And Brighton, I think, barring the FA Cup game on the weekend, they're on such good form. They seem to be beating everyone that comes their way. And I think at home against the Villa side, if you take their league form into account, they're really not playing too well in the league right now. So I feel like it will be an interesting tactical battle, but I think Brighton will just about edge it in a 2-1 display. Next up, Manchester City against Leicester. We've both gone for 4-0. Yeah, it's going to be an onslaught, this one, surely. Like, how can it be anything else? Like Man City at the Etihad against the Leicester side, who are just getting battered week in, week out. Man City do have a few injuries that they need to contend with. Erling Haaland leaving the last game with a protective boot on his foot. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he got injured. Oh, that's not good. But I picked anyway. I completely forgot he got injured in that game. But anyway, doesn't matter. He's going to be fine. And Man City are going to absolutely batter Leicester 4-0 here. Yeah, I can't look. There's no way Leicester get anything. The only thing I would say is, I don't even remember the game back in. They played them in January, and Leicester actually were really good in that game. I think City ended up winning 2-1. But it was actually Leicester who played really well and could have got something out of the game. But Leicester just seemed to have given up completely. I can't see City doing anything in Leicester doing anything in this game, really. City was surely going to have too much.
Yeah. Newcastle against Brentford. Both of us gone for 2-1 to Brentford, the away kings at the moment in Brentford, playing against probably a very hungover Newcastle side.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well. Yeah, I think Brentford obviously are playing very well, but I was looking at celebrations on the weekend. I'm like, no chance Newcastle are going to be up for this game. So I think Brentford are taking it.
Yeah, I know. It's like the amount of people. I've never actually seen a Carabao Cup win kind of celebration as crazy as that one. I mean, the whole city was pretty much locked down. The players were lapping it up. It looked incredible. It looked incredible, to be honest. But yeah, Brentford, they just seem to be winning every single week whenever they play away from home. So I've gone for them to win 2-1. Southampton against Crystal Palace next. Sim's gone for 2-1 to Palace. I've gone for 3-0. And yeah, I can't see anything but a convincing Palace win here. Mateta back in the side. Palace, I mean, on the weekend, it was actually a strange game, wasn't it? Because Fulham started the game really well. And then out of nowhere, Palace were just 3-0 up, and it was like kind of game over, 2-0 up, and it was kind of like game over from there.
Yeah, and I think Palace can do that too with the quality. They got Eze, I think, since he's come back from that injury.
What a goal that was, wow.
Brilliant goal, and I think he's starting to really turn it on because he hasn't had the best season, but the last few weeks, I think he's starting to really up his performance. Mateta's back as well. You got Ismaili Assar in great form. Should be too much for the Southampton side, albeit, obviously, I think played on the weekend. I don't know how fresh they're going to be. So I've just gone for it to be a bit tighter, but I went for still Palace. I can't see anything. They're in great form at the moment, Palace. Let's be honest. They're playing really, really well. So I think they're definitely going to win.
I think since from a certain stage of the season, I can't remember when that was, no one's picked up more points apart from Arsenal and Liverpool than Palace. I mean, the form that they are on is quite something. It really is. Merseyside derby midweek as well. Liverpool against Everton at Anfield. Sim's gone for 3-1.
Yeah, and I think, I can't see Everton. I know Liverpool haven't been in great form, and I know they were very disappointed in the Cup final, and also before that, not the best in the Champions League as well against PSG. But with only the Premier League now to focus on for Liverpool, 12 points clear, they're going to make sure they get over the line, and I think it's going to start here in the Merseyside derby. So I think they're going to, with all their eggs in this basket, I think you'll see them get back to their best a bit. So I've gone for a 3-1 win to Liverpool.
Yeah, there's nothing Everton want more than to try and stop this Liverpool title onslaught and this Liverpool title party. They want to end their season. They want to kind of bring Arsenal back into this title race. And I feel like Liverpool will just about get the win, but I feel like it's going to be a really tightly contested game, and it won't go all Liverpool's way throughout the game. Everton are going to fight tooth and nail, as they always do in the Merseyside derby. And look, I can see Everton having some joy, but I just can't see them getting over the line and getting points in the game. So I've gone for a tight 2-1 win for Liverpool. Another big London derby on Thursday night at Stamford Bridge, which is Chelsea against Tottenham. Sim's gone for 2-2. I have gone for 2-1 to Chelsea. Both these teams not really playing well at the moment. Chelsea getting more points at the moment, but it looks as though the three players are back with Cole Palmer, Nick Jackson, and there's another one there as well, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but they should have a clean bill of health going into it. Spurs still probably without Dejan Kulusevski, otherwise, albeit he has posted on Instagram suggesting that he's on his way back and the protective boot is off. So hoping we're going to see a bit of him on Thursday night, but yeah, Spurs at Stamford Bridge is always a bit of a myth, so I can't see anything but a 2-1 win for Chelsea. Yeah,
I went for 2-2. I just think both teams are on poor form, and I think both teams really have a lot of weaknesses defensively, albeit Van de Ven and Romero probably be the first time we've seen them together in the Premier League for however long, so that should give Tottenham a bit of a boost defensively. Obviously, there's a bit more rest for the likes of Solanke. Son looks to be in a bit better form at the moment. Odebear's coming into it. Tell and Odebear both had good international breaks. So I think it should be an entertaining game, an open game. I know Chelsea having players back as well, but even with those players back, they don't seem to be in the best form at the moment. So I've gone for a 2-2 draw here.
All right, and star men, Sim's gone for the injured Erling Haaland.
Well, we don't know if he's out for the midweek yet, so to be honest, I completely forgot he got injured against Bournemouth.
Yeah, apparently all the FPL accounts are ruling him out.
Well, they don't know anything yet. Nothing's confirmed until we hear it from Pep. Look, it didn't look great for him, to be honest. So, I might have screwed up here.
I've gone for Mateta away to Southampton. If anyone's going to score, it'll probably be him, and with him and Eze and Ismaili Assar forming a really strong partnership in the front three, I can see Mateta doing something in this midweek game. So Sim's gone for Haaland, I've gone for Mateta. Let us know your predictions in the comments section below, and we'll see you after this round of fixtures. But thank you everyone for joining us today. See you next time.